The story of radio is a tapestry woven by many brilliant minds, each contributing a vital thread to its creation. It's a tale of curiosity, persistence, and the relentless pursuit of understanding the invisible forces that shape our world. In the 1860s, James Clerk Maxwell theorized the existence of electromagnetic waves, uniting electricity, magnetism, and light into a single, elegant framework. His groundbreaking equations suggested that energy could travel through empty space, unseen and unfelt. But for years, Maxwell's equations remained just theory, a promise of something more, waiting for proof. Scientists debated and speculated, but the world had yet to witness these mysterious waves in action. In the 1880s, Heinrich Hertz proved Maxwell right, generating and detecting invisible waves in his lab. With ingenious experiments, Hertz showed that these waves could be created and measured, confirming Maxwell's predictions. Hertz's experiment showed that information could travel through the air, untethered by wires. For the first time, the possibility of wireless communication became real, even if its potential was not yet fully understood. Yet, even he didn't foresee the world-changing technology he'd sparked. Hertz considered his work a scientific curiosity, not a practical tool for communication. The leap from theory to communication came with inventors like Nikola Tesla and Guglielmo Marconi. These pioneers saw the potential to send messages across great distances without the need for physical connections. Marconi, often called the father of radio, improved on Hertz's work, and in 1901, sent the first transatlantic signal, 3 faint clicks of Morse code. This achievement captured the world's imagination and proved that wireless communication could span oceans. The world had just become smaller. Suddenly, news and messages could travel farther and faster than ever before, connecting people in ways previously thought impossible. But this was only wireless telegraphy, dots and dashes, not voices. The airwaves carried coded signals, but the dream of hearing a human voice remained out of reach. The next challenge, transmitting the human voice, would require new breakthroughs in technology and imagination. Reginald Fessenden achieved this in 1906, broadcasting music and speech on Christmas Eve. For the first time, listeners heard not just signals, but the warmth of a human voice and the beauty of music carried across the air. Ship operators, used to Morse code, were stunned to hear music and a human voice from the ether. It was a moment of wonder, signaling a new era in communication. A new age had begun, one where voices, stories, and music could travel the globe, forever changing how humanity connects. The first radio listeners weren't families gathered in cozy living rooms. They were passionate hobbyists, often young boys and curious tinkerers, building crystal sets in attics and basements late into the night. These early experimenters were driven by a sense of wonder and the thrill of discovery, piecing together radios from spare parts and whatever they could find. These simple receivers, powered only by the energy of radio waves themselves, required patience, a steady hand, and a willingness to learn through trial and error. There were no batteries or electricity, just the invisible power of the air, captured and transformed into sound. Finding a signal was a magical personal triumph. After hours of careful tuning, suddenly a distant voice or song would emerge from the static, as if by enchantment. It was a moment of pure excitement, a secret message from the wider world. Early listeners kept meticulous logs, carefully noting each station they heard, and traded stories of far-off signals with fellow enthusiasts. They formed a secret club, bound by curiosity and the shared language of radio, connecting across towns and even countries. As commercial broadcasting began in the 1920s, radio moved from the private world of hobbyist workshops to the center of public fascination, transforming from a solitary pursuit into a shared experience for all. Department stores drew eager crowds with demonstration radios, as people marveled at music and voices pulled from thin air. The radio became a symbol of modernity and possibility, sparking imaginations everywhere. Early broadcasts were unpredictable, news readings, local singers, lectures, or just records played at random. Each night brought something new, and no one knew what they might hear next. The thrill was in the surprise, a window to a wider world. opening up possibilities and stories beyond the horizon of daily life. For the first time, communities formed not by geography, but by the shared experience of listening together, united by invisible waves that crossed borders and brought people closer. Radio was magic made real, a new kind of connection, sparking wonder in every home it touched. Early home radios looked more like science experiments than furniture. Multiple boxes, tangled wires, and acid batteries filled the parlor. Tuning required careful adjustment of several dials. One wrong move, and the signal vanished into static. The sound was often tinny and crackling, but the reward of hearing a distant voice was worth the effort. By the mid-1920s, radios became user-friendly and beautiful, encased in elegant wood, with integrated speakers and plug-in power. Designs reflected the era's artistry, cathedral arches, tombstone shapes, and Art Deco flair. Radios became status symbols, blending technology and art. They were as much to be seen as to be heard. The radio became the new hearth, drawing families together each evening. It changed how people spent their time, no longer isolated, but united by shared stories and laughter. Radio created a common culture, with everyone knowing the same shows and voices. For rural families, it was a lifeline. News, weather, and music breaking the silence of isolation. Radio brought immediacy. Events unfolded in real time, forging a national identity. It transformed the soundscape, introducing new music and standardizing language. The home became a portal to the world at the turn of a dial. Life would never sound the same. Radio quickly became more than entertainment. It was a lifeline for news, culture, and connection. In living rooms across America, families would gather, drawn together by the warm glow and familiar voices that filled the air. The radio was a window to the world, shrinking distances and making faraway events feel close to home. In 1920, KDKA's broadcast of the presidential election returns let Americans hear results live for the first time. Suddenly, news was immediate, no longer delayed by newspapers or word of mouth. This moment marked the dawn of a new era, where information could travel at the speed of sound. Radio news came of age in the 1930s, with Edward R. Murrow's gripping reports from London during the Blitz. His vivid storytelling and unwavering presence set a new standard for journalism, making listeners feel as if they were right there in the heart of the action. Murrow's calm voice, set against air raid sirens, brought the war home to millions. His broadcasts offered comfort, courage, and a sense of unity during uncertain times, proving the power of radio to inform and reassure. Music history was made too. Benny Goodman's swing broadcasts ignited the swing era, uniting young fans coast to coast. Radio became a stage for new sounds, helping to break down barriers and create a shared cultural experience. And in 1938, Orson Welles' War of the Worlds drama, presented as news bulletins, convinced many listeners that Martians had landed. The broadcast blurred the line between fact and fiction, showing just how deeply people trusted what they heard on the air. The resulting panic, real or exaggerated, proved the power and trust people placed in radio. It was a reminder that the airwaves could shape not just opinions, but actions and emotions on a national scale. Radio could shape perception, stir emotion, and even spark national events. It was a force that brought people together, sparking conversations and forging a sense of community. It was no longer just a box in the corner. It was a force in American life. The radio became a trusted companion, a source of comfort, and a symbol of progress. The airwaves became a stage for history, carrying voices and stories that would echo for generations. Every broadcast was a shared moment, connecting millions in real time, no matter where they lived. Radio's voice was the nation's heartbeat. The world was listening, and the story of broadcasting was just beginning. The 1930s and 1940s were radio's golden age. Families organized their evenings around the broadcast schedule, tuning in for adventure, comedy, and drama. Shows like The Shadow, Jack Benny, and soap operas became national obsessions. Sound effects artists conjured entire worlds with simple props: thunder, galloping horses, creaking doors. Listeners became co-creators, imagining scenes brought to life by sound alone. Sponsorship fueled the industry. Shows were named for their sponsors, and jingles became part of daily life. Advertising and entertainment blended seamlessly. The model of commercial broadcasting was perfected. Radio shaped American culture and commerce for decades. The airwaves ruled the nation. Some vintage radios are icons of design and history. The Spartan Bluebird, with its cobalt blue glass and chrome, was a 1930s Art Deco masterpiece, luxurious and futuristic. The Zenith Transoceanic, introduced in 1942, was a rugged portable built for world travelers and soldiers, symbolizing American ingenuity. The Fata Bullet, made from colorful Catalan plastic, brought high style to the masses in the 1940s. Each design captured the spirit of its era: optimism, adventure, and modernity. And then there's the humble crystal set, the entry point for countless young pioneers. Building one was a rite of passage, a celebration of curiosity and discovery. These radios remind us that radio began as a magical hobby, not just a business. They are artifacts of wonder. Each tells a story of innovation and imagination. In a digital world, vintage radios still captivate us. Restoring an old radio is a hands-on journey through history. Woodworking, electronics, and nostalgia combined. Their warm, mellow sound and glowing tubes offer a sensory experience modern devices can't match. These radios are functional art, built with care and style. Displaying one is a tribute to craftsmanship and a link to the past. They connect us to family stories, historic moments, and a simpler way of listening. In a world of distractions, tuning in to a single voice is almost meditative. Vintage radios remind us of the magic of listening. The golden age of radio ended as television took over in the 1950s, but radio didn't die. It adapted, moving into cars and specializing in music and news. Its legacy lives on in our media. Sitcoms, dramas, news, and talk shows all began on radio. The theater of the mind paved the way for podcasts and audiobooks. Vintage radios are monuments to a time when mass communication first entered the home. They broke barriers of distance, created shared culture, and comforted a nation in crisis. Each silent radio holds echoes of history. Listening today is an act of imagination, tuning in to the past. The magic of connection endures. The vintage radio is a vessel of memory, linking us to yesterday.